If you were to watch some of these Lifetime movies that they're most famous for, you would notice that they often involve a woman being murdered, hoodwinked, maimed, beaten, kidnapped, beheaded. You know, girl stuff.
Look, I don't want to brag. But I've got money. Okay? Okay? I got the kind of money, like when I'm sick, I go to the doctor. In the United States. That's rich. When I get sick, I'm like, Grandma, keep your Vicks, we're going to the doctor. That's how much money I got. Rappers make it rain champagne, I make it rain penicillin. I'm like, beat out right there. Oh, everybody. Oh. So I was at Bloomingdale's in the clearance section. I can afford clearance, not the regular price stuff, okay? I'm at Bloomingdale's and I see a bag that I like and it doesn't have a price. And I stand by it. And people they start walking and no one stops, right? They just walk, walk, walk. Finally, a woman walks by, I'm like, hey, how much is this bag? She's like, oh. It's $800. Okay. I'm gonna buy that bag. She's like, oh, are you? Well, I'm just gonna take the bag. I'm gonna hold it up front until you're ready to check out. So we're at the cash register, right? And she's like typing, whatever. And it's taking forever. Like, I feel like she doesn't think that I'm gonna buy the bag. Like, halfway through, I'm gonna be like, JK, I'm poor, bye. Typing. Now, here's the thing you gotta know about me. My mom taught me to never complain. Like, we don't complain. Like, if I get the wrong food at a restaurant, I eat the wrong food. Like, I don't complain, right? But this woman's being so terrible, like obviously terrible, right? She's like, Like, look, I'm sorry, I gotta stop you. You are being awful. You're being rude, and I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Now, I don't even want this bag. I'm buying this bag because I've got the money to buy this bag. And not only that, this bag is for me. I want you to gift wrap it. That bag is for me, but I want to surprise myself. Like, what did I get me? I want you to surprise me. Gift wrap it. Gift wrap it. And I stood there. I'm like, more ribbon. I pay, she gives me the card, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, I'm doing this to teach you a lesson. I don't know what it is about me, but for some reason, you think that I can't afford to shop here. I don't know what you expect me to dress, like wear to this store, like what, a fucking wedding gown? Need I remind you that I'm shopping at Bloomingdale's and you're fucking working at Bloomingdale's, okay? I gave me my fucking bag, thank you. I left, I was walking off. You guys, that is the closest, like that was like the movie Selena, like, we don't want that dress. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, Pretty Woman, big mistake. Like, that's where I was. Like, oh. I left, I was like, I was waiting to get to the outside and just lose it, you know? Like, I walked out of that store with pride I walked out of that store with dignity, and I got into my car, and I was like, yes! And I drove to the closest Bloomingdale's to return that fucking bag. Because I couldn't afford it, but I taught that bitch a lesson, and that's all that matters.
People really want to challenge me about all these women coming forward. Someone came up to me and was like, well, how do these women even remember what happened? Like, oh, because we're known for our amazing ability to forget shit. We're known for just letting things go after a while. That's our thing. Maybe some people don't understand that when you get harassed at a young age, you might not even put together that that's what's occurring until later in life when you're an adult. That was one of my experiences. When I was 19 years old, I got a job as an extra in a television show. And the first day I was there, the director, who was at least 65 years old, invited me into his trailer for lunch. So I go into his trailer, and I know what you're thinking. Why did you go into his trailer? Because I was an idiot. I was 19 years old. No one had told me trailers were bad. There was a lot of shit I didn't know. I also thought clear bra straps were clear. I also thought that lady living with my aunt was her roommate. I also thought guys could be allergic to latex. There was a lot of shit I hadn't figured out yet. Don't blame me. So of course I go into his trailer. Out of nowhere, he just lunges at me. I didn't understand what was happening because he was so much older than me. I thought he fell. I was like, are you okay? Oh my God. Are you passing away? What's happening? No idea what to do with that story. I don't remember the guy's name, but the good news is I did accidentally stumble upon a great way to deal with harassment at work from a creepy guy. Just pretend you think he's having a medical emergency. Next time a guy's like, hey, sweetie, want to get a drink later? Just go, oh my God, someone call an ambulance! Gary thinks he's in my league! I don't know if it's like dementia, or maybe it's a stroke. Gary thinks I would fuck him. We've got to call an ambulance. It's bad. Don't get angry, just get very compassionate.
You know, I come from a famous family, being the Wayans. Yeah, thank you. Some of y'all don't know. Y'all like, what? It's been hard, though, because, you know, a lot of y'all know half of my family is rich and half of them were poor. And she said, yep. And I grew up on the poor side, unfortunately. Don't get me wrong. I've been in all A films. You just got to have a hell of a slow motion button. Or have me sitting next to you. Like, you see that building over there? Okay, if you just look to the far right in the corner, when he go by, that's my shoulder shadow right there. And I was like the Cinderella of the summer. I would come to Cali every summer, visit my rich side. We go to premieres, after parties. I got to meet a lot of celebrities. Then when that clock striked at the end of the summer, I could see it. I saw the mansion leave, the gated community. I think my car turned into a fucking pumpkin on the way to the airport. Then I had to go back home to the projects. I'm looking at my mom like, woman, would it kill you to tell a fucking joke? Yeah, and then in this industry, I needed to make a name for myself because I kept getting tired of people going, hey, man, you would be perfect for this role. If you could just get Damon, oh, man, you'd be fucking amazing. And it's really hard to separate us because people know we're related. I mean, the Wayans couldn't even do a crime because we all fucking look alike. We got a designated Wayans just to take the rap for us in case some shit go down. Shit, Derek Wayans is spending time in jail with some shit I did a long time ago. Thank you, Derek. But I was torn with them, and I decided to rebel. Because I got into an argument with my uncle, and right before I was going on stage, this nigga farted on me. I'm like, you a grown-ass man. He was like, you want to be one of the fellas? I was like, not that fucking bad. He pissed me off so bad that I was like, I'd rather go struggle and make a damn name for myself. I don't need you. You don't respect me. I can go do Postmates. And if I could just make... if I could just make $500 a day, that's what, $4 a ride? If I just 48 hours, I could do this all by myself. So that's what I'm doing now, Postmates. We got some Postmates in here? Or did I deliver to some of y'all? Postmates not that bad. I actually make decent money. It's kind of weird running into people I know. I ran into this dude that just sold a TV show. He was like, hey, Shantae Wayans. You know, you try to over-explain yourself. I was like, yeah, man, you know, I'm out here hustling. Like, you know, just finished touring and shit, you know what I mean? Just had some meetings about to sell some shit, you know? Just doing this to pay off a little bit of debt, you know, have extra money. He was like, oh, cool, my food is getting cold, I gotta go. You better fucking tip me, man.
I clearly still did not have a good handle on who I was. You know, there was just something missing. I remember one day I got home from a red carpet event. I walked in my house, I took off my light blue velour tracksuit, I threw on my favorite WNBA women's basketball jersey, and I sat down on the couch and I started flipping through the TV channels, and I came upon the Lifetime Network. Their slogan is Lifetime, television for women. Now, if you were to watch some of these Lifetime movies that they're most famous for, you would notice that they often involve a woman being murdered, hoodwinked, maimed, beaten, kidnapped, beheaded, you know, girl stuff. And I love that Lifetime is like, this is for you, women. Yes. So I'm sitting there on the couch. I got my work boots propped up on the coffee table. I had made it from repurposed wood from a shed out back with my roommate, Linda. And on this particular day, it was not one of those murder mysteries. It was a movie called The Truth About Jane. And I don't want to bore you straighties with the plot of this movie, but basically a young girl in high school realizes that she is a lesbian, and her mom, she's like, boo! And then by the end of the movie, her mom is like, yay! And that's the movie. So I'm sitting there and all of this like hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I say out loud for the first time in my entire life, I go, oh my God, I'm gay. Came to that conclusion from watching a Lifetime movie. What?
But you know what's really gangster? We take dick. Do you know how gangster it is to take a dick? Let me explain something to you. The strongest, meanest, biggest man in here, strongest, meanest, biggest man in here, you pull a dick out on him, he'll be like, what? You pull a dick out on a girl, she be like, oh, that's all you got. You ever took a dick, sir? Do you know how hard it is to take a dick, sir? This your girlfriend? Your wife, that's right. She gotta take your dick every day, sir! Do you know how it is to take a dick every day, sir? She takes care of your kids and cook your fucking... dinner, and she still has to deal with your dick. That's what makes her crazy. They gonna be nice to her for like a month.
I'm going through a breakup. It happened a while ago. We were together 4 years. I was totally blindsided. I did it, but I was just like, whoa. Like, you actually went through with it. Whoa. No, it was awful. It was, I don't know, it was one of those breakups where it's like, I don't know if you've ever broken up with someone when you live with them, but the second he left, even though it was very sad, there was a sense of relief. Like, I'm not even joking you, the second the door shut, like the second it shut, I started farting for like 10 years. Like, I can't stop. It's just been a steady leak since November. I was holding in farts for nearly 4 years, all of Obama's second term. I can't. The pain, I was cramping up and down. My core was so engaged. I resented him for it, because he knew, he had to know that I was holding him in. You know when you hold him in all day and they're like, well, I guess we're not coming out, so they're like, we'll go back up, and they go like it makes a sound? Thank you. This guy knew it before I said it. That happens, right? And exactly. And then everyone looks at you, right? And they're like, whoa. And then what do you say? You go, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. My stomach's growling. I'm hungry. Yeah, that excuse only works if you didn't just eat a huge meal with that person. Because then my boyfriend's just like, yeah, I'm sure it wasn't the vegan chili you just inhaled. And pretty sure there was a sucked up fart. But it's just, and he heard me do it. Like, I know he did. We shared the same bed for like 2 years. I would fall asleep and wake up to one of them. And first of all, I'd be like, who's shuffling cards in my bed? Like, I was like, whoa. Just like, you know, the mattress shook. I'm like, we need to find a doorway. Where's my go bag? But it was so fun. Is there anything worse than waking up to your own fart when you realize the person next to you is still awake and you're not supposed to fart in front of them? I don't think there is. Like, I would rather wake up to someone breaking in my house, literally, than that. It's horrifying. Because I woke up and I would just freeze, and then I'd start shuffling the covers around, like maybe he would think it was a cover sound, you know? Like, I'm just like, I just have a squeaky duvet. That's a thing. Don't worry about it. Smells like sewage. Don't overthink it.
You know what's crazy is, like, one of the things that I learned in life is, like, how to survive, right? Like, I'm a survivor. And when I was younger, it was so crazy because, like, I would hook up with dudes because I was, like, so hungry. I weighed like 100 pounds and I was starving. And I would, like, you know, go out for dinner and lunch and breakfast. And I was hungry. And I'd be like, oh, shoot, my cycle late. Oh, my God, what am I going to do? And then I would just go to Six Flags and I would get on every roller coaster like 6 or 7 times, and I drink a 50 Hennessy, and then my cycle would start. That's how you do an abortion on a budget. That was the late 1900s. Yeah. But it's not even a joke, it's the truth. That's what you learn in foster care. Like, and be like, how am I get rid of this? I can't afford Planned Parenthood. You got Coca-Cola cans? Yeah, Six Flags. I don't think either one of these companies are gonna sponsor me. But I ain't got no kids.